The rain had stopped only half an hour ago, but the air was still heavy and damp. The asphalt gleamed under the few streetlights, reflecting the light as if the street were covered with a thin layer of glass. Alina was the last to leave the office building. The security guard nodded goodbye as he closed the door. "Delayed again?" he asked. "Yes, reports." She smiled wearily. She turned on the GPS, but the battery showed 5%. The route was simple: 2 blocks, and then turn right faster that way. She hesitated, but fatigue outweighed caution. For the first few minutes, everything was calm. A car passed somewhere in the distance. Then silence. Too quiet. Alina quickened her pace. Her heels beat a precise rhythm on the wet asphalt. Knock, knock, knock. And suddenly another rhythm, a little quieter, behind. She slowed. The second sound slowed too. A chill ran through her chest. She stopped abruptly and turned around. No one. An empty street. Closed windows. Not a soul. "I imagined it," she whispered, but her voice sounded hesitant. She continued walking, but now each step became heavier. A minute later, again, footsteps. Closer this time. "Hey," the voice cut through the silence. She froze. She turned slowly. The man stood just a few meters away, tall, wearing a dark jacket, the hood concealing his face. He was taking his time, simply observing. "No need to do anything stupid," he said calmly. And then she saw the gun. He held it down, but that was enough. The threat was tangible, like cold air on her skin. "My bag. And my phone." Alina didn't move. Her brain froze. "This isn't happening to me. This can't be happening to me." "Quickly," he said, a little more firmly. She slowly took her bag off her shoulder. Her hands were shaking. "Here," she said quietly, holding it out. He took a step closer. And then she noticed something. His hand was shaking slightly. He was nervous too. This wasn't a cool-headed professional. More like someone who wasn't entirely in control of the situation. "There's almost nothing in there," she said, trying to buy herself time. "I don't care." He reached for the bag, and at that moment a door slammed somewhere off to the side. Then a voice, laughter. The man turned his head sharply. Alina didn't wait. She broke into a run. Her heels skidded on the wet asphalt, but she held on. Her heart pounded in her ears. "Stop!" he shouted. She heard footsteps behind her. He was running. Faster. She turned the corner. The street was a little brighter, but still empty. Her breathing was ragged. She felt him keeping up. Ahead lay a dead end. "Damn," she exhaled. Panic washed over her like a wave. She looked back. He was almost there. And then she noticed a narrow passage between the houses, almost invisible, dark. With no choice, she dove in. The passage was cramped, smelling of damp and trash, but it led further to the courtyard. Alina ran out into the courtyard and stopped abruptly. There were cars and lights and people. There were cars and lights and people. 2 guys were standing at the entrance talking. "Help!" she screamed, her voice breaking. They turned around. "Hey, what happened?" She didn't answer, just pointed back. The hooded man appeared in the doorway for a second and stopped. He assessed the situation. Light, people, witnesses, and then he was gone. He simply turned and left, as if he'd never been there. Alina stood, trying to catch her breath. Her legs were wobbly. "Are you okay?" one of the guys asked. She nodded, though that was far from the truth. Her hands were still shaking. Her phone was completely dead. But that didn't matter now. She was alive.